မင်္ဂလာပါကျွန်တော်နာမည်ကတော့ဆရာရှိပောင်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်ရှေ့မှာ Rich Dad Poor Dad ဆင်းရဲဖေချမ်းသာဖေဆိုတဲ့စာအုပ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့မှာ chapter 1မှာ part 1ပေါ့နော်အပိုင်းနံပါတ်1ကိုကျွန်တော်ပြပြသွားတယ်ပေါ့နော်ကိုယ့်ဘက်ကိုစဉ်းစားဖို့ပါစာအုပ်ပြပြရဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုပြပေးမယ်အင်္ဂလိပ်စာသင်တဲ့ဆရာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက် English ပေါ့နော် E2E ရအောင်နောက်တစ်ချက်ကကျတော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီစာအုပ်မှာ vocabulary သင်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးဒီသူပြောတဲ့အတွေ့အခေါ်တွေကိုကျွန်တော် sharing လုပ်တာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်ကအဲ့ဒီအကြောင်းအရာတွေပဲကျွန်တော်ပြရမှာပေါ့နော်E2E မှာအများစုကနားလည်နေတဲ့စကားလုံးအလွယ်ဒီသုံးပြီးတော့ပဲကျွန်တော်ပြောသွားမယ်ဒီမှာစကားလုံးသစ်တွေပါတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော်ကဒီအောင် focus မထားဘူးစကားလုံးသင်တာမဟုတ်တဲ့အတွက်အကြောင်းအရာကိုပဲကျွန်တော်ကပွင့်နေပြော fluency သင်တဲ့ဆရာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ဟိုပုံမှန်စကားလုံးနေ့စဉ်သုံးတဲ့စကားလုံးသုံးပြီးပဲအကြောင်းအရာကို share လုပ်သွားမယ်ပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်စရအောင်အဲ့တော့ so let's get started so in the part 1 and I talked about that his poor dad the one that Robert Kiyosaki he called so his real dad is poor dad and his rich dad is Mike's dad who will teach him how to be rich basically so of course right and his dad Mike's dad he calls rich dad and they meet take it or leave it remember right take it or leave it so of course Robert Kiyosaki he starts working he begins working right and his job rich dad called Mrs. Martin and then she is a very very kind patient uh, woman of course and of course the Robert Kiyosaki and Mike right their job I think at a kind of a grocery store or at a convenience store I'm not sure but kind of a their job is to clean the desk of the staff things that at the store right so they clean of course and they get 10 cents an hour 10 cents an hour so of course Robert Kiyosaki he keeps working he works right with also Mike also worked there for 3 weeks and finally Robert Kiyosaki the writer of the book 30 cents was not too exciting so of course when he gets the money he buys the comic books and he goes home of course but he's not happy about it by Wednesday of the 4th week he is ready to quit he is ready he won't be working anymore and he says I agree to work because I want to learn to make money from Mike's dad Robert Kiyosaki says I agreed with your father because I know how to make money right how to be rich but now I am slave I'm a poor person for 10 cents an hour right he's not happy about it actually he doesn't want to work for like 10 cents an hour it's too much it's not too much money of course so of course he said one day at lunchtime at school I guess he says I'm quitting I'm leaving your father's job and school is boring and I don't have my Saturdays right, holidays right free uh, and also right I only get 30 cents right for 3 hours of them his friend right rich dad son's Mike he smiled what are you laughing at so laughing I'm gonna teach this pronunciation to you because it's a common word most people they pronounce laugh although it's pronounced L-A-U-G-H but we pronounce laugh okay laughing so what are you laughing at and of course he's angry Robert Kiyosaki is angry because he doesn't know why Mike is laughing well Mike right he smiles and he says Dad already said this will happen. You will quit the job and you will be unhappy about the job for 10 cents an hour. And when you're ready to quit, my dad said, meet me. Tell him to meet me. So, and Robert Kiyosaki is surprised. What? Did he do this on purpose? By design? Mike says, well, yes, kind of. And of course, I think my dad doesn't teach you like your dad. Your mom and dad lecture a lot. So Mike is talking to the Robert Kiyosaki about Robert Kiyosaki's dad and mother. Your dad and your mother lecture a lot. Okay. Guys, 1 second. All right. But my dad is quiet. He's a man of few words. He is a man of few words. So basically, he doesn't talk much, right? He only talks a little bit, right? He's a man of few words. Maybe he listens and he talks a little bit. That's it. So you just wait till this Saturday, Mike says. I will tell my father you're ready. You're ready to quit. So you can see here in that part that Mike's dad, the rich dad, doesn't teach like a lecturing, right? To be rich, to get rich, right? And we'll learn more about that. Why he teaches like that, we'll learn. But right now, let's focus on that. So of course, the next day, of course, I think Saturday, I guess, but doesn't matter. The next day, of course, Saturday. Uh, he is Robert Kiyosaki is waiting, of course, and his real dad, right? Robert Kiyosaki's real dad, the teacher, is angry, very, very angry, furious with Mike's dad, the rich dad. Why? The poor dad says, well, Mike's dad is violating child labor laws. So, too much. And so it's not fair because he pays 10 cents an hour and you demand more, right? Robert Kiyosaki said, my educated poor dad told me to demand more what I deserve, at least 25 cents an hour, not 10 cents an hour. Just ask, right? The rich dad for 25 cents an hour, not 10 cents an hour. It's little, okay? Ask more, get more money from him per hour. My poor dad, keep saying, told me that if I did not get a raise, you have to quit. You don't need that damn job anyway. All right, says my poor dad, very angry. The next day, of course, Robert Kiyosaki, he goes there. He goes to the rich dad's office, and of course, and they're talking, of course. And rich dad says, Mike's dad, right? Rich dad, I understand you want a raise, or you're going to quit, right? But you said that you would teach me if I work for you. Well, I've worked for you. I've worked hard. I've given up my baseball games, right? You know this, right? Baseball game, of course. Um, he doesn't go, right? But you haven't kept your word, right? So Robert Kiyosaki is talking to the rich dad. You haven't kept your word. You didn't keep your promise, right? You haven't taught me anything about being rich. And you're greedy. You want too much money. And you want all the money and you don't take care of your employees. And you make me wait. Of course, when before the Robert Kiyosaki meets him, he has to wait like other employees for to meet the rich dad. You made me wait and don't show me any respect at all. I'm only a little boy, but I deserve to be treated better. Not bad, he said, right? So Robert Kiyosaki is talking too much, right? You, blaming, right? You, you force me to work for 10 cents an hour. It's not fair, and you don't respect your employees, and you think that you're the boss, and you right do terrible things, right? You don't take care of your employees. I'm one of your employees, but you don't take care of me. Rich Dad smiles. Well, not bad. In less than a month, you sound like most of my employees. What? Right? He asks, not understanding what he was saying. Um, I thought that you, right? So Robert Kiyosaki, right? He says that. I think that you will keep your promise, but you don't. That is cruel. I'm teaching you, Rich Dad says. I'm teaching you. What have you taught me? Nothing, right? Very, very angry. And then he says, 10 cents an hour? Huh? Huh? I should notify the government about you, right? We have child labor laws, My dad works for the government. So, whoa, says Rich Dad. Now you sound like just like most of the people who used to work for me, people I have either fired or who have quit by themselves. So what do you have to say, right? Rich Dad, the boy, says to the rich dad, "You lied to me. I have worked for you. You have not kept your word, and you haven't taught me anything. How do you know that I haven't not that I haven't taught you anything? Well, you have never talked to me. I have worked for 3 weeks. You haven't taught me anything." Pout, I said with a pout. So pouting means mm, mm, right, pouting. That's called pouting in English, of course. So and then Rich Dad says, "Well, that's teaching me talking or lecture, like in school. Do I have to teach like in school? That's teaching me talking or a lecture." Rich Dad is a smart guy, and uh, and then he keeps saying, "Well, this is how they teach you in school, Robert, right? But that is not how life teaches you. Life doesn't teach you like this, right?" And then Robert Kiyosaki, right? The rich dad says to the Robert Kiyosaki, "Life is the best teacher of all. Right? Most of the time, life doesn't talk to you. It's kind of pushes you around, right? It kind, right? Basically, life pushes you. What does that mean? Life pushes you around. Life pushes you around means you don't have a plan, you don't have a goal, right? You pass the matriculation examination, and then you go to the university, and you got a bachelor degree, or and you after this you attend. You don't focus on what you want to do, but maybe you focus what other people are doing, and then you attend some courses. You're not interested in accounting, but you attend an accounting course, right? And then you work, but you're not interested, you're not happy. And then of course you get another job, and maybe you change your career. You became a teacher, for example. You work, but you're not happy, right? That's called life is pushing you around, right? You don't have a goal, and you don't know what you're doing, right? You don't ask questions about yourself. What am I focused on? What am I interested in? What do I really want to do? Of course, right? You don't ask. And Robert Kiyosaki is confused that he doesn't understand really what the rich dad is saying. If you now, the rich dad says, right? Well, if you learn life's lesson, you will do well. If not, if you don't learn life's lessons, life will just continue to push you around. People in the world, people only do two things. Um, some people, right? Life for some people, life pushes them around, but other people, life cannot push them, and they push the life back. Life can mean a lot of things, right? Things that you do every day. And so other people they get angry, so they push the life back. So some people they right they push they blame their boss. They have a problem about money or something. They blame their boss or job or their husband or wife. They don't know that life is pushing. And so of course, Robert Kiyosaki is stay confused, and you know some people if they have a problem, right, they blame other people. They think that other people well, are the problems, right? They're not the problem, so they don't learn anything. And Rich Dad says, right, if you learn the lesson, you will grow into a wise and wealthy and happy young man. If you don't, you will spend your life blaming a job, a low pay, right, low salary, and your boss for your problems. So you can see here. And now you don't want to work, right? 10 cents an hour, you think is a little bit of money, and you don't want to work, right? Robert Rich Dad says to the Robert Kiyosaki that I give you a taste of life. How does the life taste? You work, you get out in the real world and you work for yourself. You get 10 cents an hour, that's a little bit of money, but you get a taste from your life, right? What taste of life? Well, he's a young boy, he doesn't know. Your boys, and now after this, I'm gonna end this because it's too much, so you don't want to listen to it, right? I understand that so many Burmese people in Myanmar, if the videos, the good videos, the videos, the lesson that will help them speak English better or whatever, they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen to the very, very long videos or lessons. They think it's boring. It's not connected to this one, but when I was learning English, when I was a learner, even if I was not interested in what I was doing or the topics or the lesson, whatever, I kept listening to them anyway. Why? I could still get something from them. I don't know why. I just kept listening. Yeah, it made me boring, of course, but I don't care. If the lesson is longer, I just cut the a lesson or the topic into different pieces. Maybe if the lesson takes 20 minutes, of course, I only do 10 minutes. People, a lot of the Burmese people in Myanmar think that they will learn only what they're interested in, but then they think that they will speak English better. You're not. You have to listen to a lot of different things, and you so that you will get a lot of different input, and this is how you speak English better, right? Okay. So anyway, let's get back to the topic. The book. Your boys, as he said, right? Your boys are the first people who have ever asked me to teach how to make money. You asked me to teach about being rich. Most of my employees, they never ask me for about being rich, about becoming rich. And the rich dad says, I have more than 150 employees, and not one of them has ever, right? They never ask me. They never ask me what I know about money. They always, most of my employees, they ask me for a job, for more salary. They never ask me how many words. You guys the first persons, guys. That's why I'm teaching you. So of course, most of the people, employees, right? They spend the best years of their lives, which means that the whole life working for many, right? Not really understand what it is that they are working for. So let me ask you, what is he talking about? Well, the rich dad is that there's nothing wrong with the people who work for the. Of course, I, you know, had worked, of course, some companies in my life. Of course, I learned some experiences, of course, and lessons. But I have always, wanted to be rich. I don't know why. I was not a good student in my high school, middle school, university. I was average. The thing is, I really wanted to be rich. I don't know why. I have no idea why I want to be rich, and I just my family was poor actually. I was born into a poor family, of course, and my wife. I'm sorry. Yeah, my wife, of course. I'm married, but she's not. We were not rich, of course, and also my mother, of course, my father used to be a taxi driver. My mother used to be a teacher. So I don't know how the money works. But finally, I learned this book and I knew how the money works, you know, and I started my own business. You can say that I'm pretty good in my own business. You know. So when we get the money, right? What do? We spend the money, right? We have hours of working for that to get that kind of salary and money. We don't care, right? We got a salary every month. We spend it, and we think that, oh, next month I will get another salary, of course. By doing this, we are spending our life, but we don't have a meaningful life. By a meaningful life, I mean that lives that you want to live or you want to have. You know, people don't think about their lives, and they just. Of course, right now we have a lot of difficult situations in Myanmar, but I understand that we have to at least understand how the money works, right? If we understand how the money works, we can be financially free. You know. All right, so I'm gonna stop here. Think about it. When you get the salary, when you get the money, how do you spend the money? How do you use the money? Do you invest yourself? Or what do you do? Do you also know how money works for you? You have to think about it. And it's okay that you're working for a company right now because you want some experiences or you want some lessons. But if you want to be rich, if you want to be financially free, working for a company, working for somebody else's, yeah, company, or somebody else will not make you rich. That's for sure, right? So you have to do something. Oops, I have to get out. Bye bye, guys. Good luck.